Good morning, dear children. Hope you are all doing well. Today we are in the lesson Lithosphere with the third session Endogenetic Processes. We are going to see about plate tectonics. What is plate tectonics? The lithosphere is divided into number of huge slabs of rocks. We have major plates and minor plates, and these plate tectonics were able to float on the mantle independently. Can you able to imagine this plate tectonics? Well, the names of the major plates: Pacific plate, North American plate, Eurasian plate, African plate, Antarctic plate, Indo-Australian plate, Australian plate, Indian plate, and South American plate. And the same way we see some of the names in the minor plates. We'll move on to the next slide to have a view of the major and minor plates on the map. Okay, children, we'll move on to a closer view with North American plates. We have some of the minor plates over there. Eurasian plates. Well, South American and with Antarctic and Pacific plates. Okay, what are the major plate tectonic boundaries? We have three types of major plate tectonics. What were they? Divergent, convergent, and transform plate tectonics. We'll see in detail in the coming lesson. Again with some of the tectonic plate boundaries. Well, collision of these plates creates mountain ranges and irregular features. We have some movements on these plate tectonics. When it is about to move, it creates the mountain ranges and irregular features on the land as well as on the oceanic floor. Here is your types of plate boundaries. The first plate boundary is convergent boundary, and the next one is divergent, and the third one is conservative or transform boundaries. We'll move on to the first one, the convergent boundary. You can see the figure over here. It has been slides together, moves with each other and slide up and down. Also sinks under one another. So when there is a movement in these convergent boundary, it creates the fold mountains. That's how the Himalayas have been formed. The second one we are going to see is divergent boundary. The plates pull away from each other because the magma pushes up from the mantle and it needs a passage. When these divergent boundary were about to pull away, the magma rises up. The example over here is mid-Atlantic ranges. The third one is conservative or transform boundary. This conservative boundary slides horizontally. That's how the San Andreas Fault Mountain has been formed. Now we'll see about the movements in the continental plates. As we have seen with these three plate tectonics, it slides or sinks together, moves ups and down, or with the horizontally it moves. It's due to the compressional force on the tectonic plates. So that's why the foldings happens. Foldings in the sense it may be high or low. This is what is movement of continental plates due to compressional forces on the tectonic plates. How are these tectonic plates are formed? Just look into this picture. It is before 250 million years ago. We have a land called Pangaea. The Pangaea has been surrounded with water body. The next is showing the map or on the globe of about 145 million years ago. So now this Pangaea has been divided into number of division, number of land. So in between this division you can see the water body. Now what you are seeing is the present day globe. You know very well this have been divided into 7 continents which has been separated by the water bodies, by the ocean. Okay children, this is how it has been made and how the Pangaea have been divided into 7 continents. We can see about that. Dear children, these tectonic plates have movements or in constant motion with an average rate of move, that is just a few centimeters per year. You know very well how the few centimeter distance will be. But just imagine over millions of years of move. Yes, the continent plates had been moved a long way. That is how the Pangaea have been divided and come into 7 continents as we have in the present day. Okay children? Well, have it in your mind very clearly. Earthquak. How this earthquak causes? Due to the movements on the tectonic plates. What do you mean by earthquak? It is caused by a sudden vibration in the earth's crust and also with the trembling shakes it creates damages to the lives. You might have seen the division on the land also. Thus, even with the mild vibration or mild or a slight movement on the tectonic plates, the earthquake causes. Now we'll see to the terms of earthquake. Here we have the epicenter, the focus, the hypocenter, and all these earthquake measures are taken by seismographics. Okay? Focus. What do you mean by focus? It's a point of origin where the earthquake occurs, starts first. Hypocenter, the earthquake waves have been generated in a series of elastic waves. So continuously the wave starts and moves on towards the earth. Epicenter, that is the impacts where the waves are felt. Seismograph, this is an instrument which records the earthquake waves and gives us the information that how much the earthquake waves have been traveled. Seismology is a science that deals with the earthquake. So with this seismology and seismograph, we get the information about how much Richter scale the earthquake waves have been traveled. What is this seismic waves? With the nature, force, speed. It depends on the medium to which it passes through. It may be passes through liquid or solid or gaseous. So these waves are being measured by the seismograph. We have three types of seismic waves. The primary or P wave, secondary or S wave, surface waves or L waves. We'll see about this. Here I have given you the division about the three waves, seismic waves. The first one we are going to see is primary waves, and the second one is secondary waves, and the third one is surface waves. Through this you can able to understand very clearly about the seismic waves, that is the earthquake waves. The primary waves that travels much faster than the other two waves and also reaches the epicenter first, that is to the top earth surface. This can be able to travel through solid, liquid and gases. The average velocity of the speed is 5.3 km to 10.6 km per second. So per second it travels faster. We'll move on to the second S waves. It creates much destruction than the other two waves and also shakes the ground. That's why the destruction happens much. Travels through solids. Average velocity of the speed is 1 km to 8 km per second. The third wave, surface waves, it is at the topmost layer of the earth. So it travels slower, similar to P waves. Very slow and passes only through the passages which it gets through. Average velocity of the speed is 1 km to 5 km per second. Tsunami. As like this earthquake, the plate tectonics have the shakes, the movements. So when it occurs on the land, it is earthquake, and when it occurs on the ocean, it is tsunami. What do you mean by tsunami? In Japanese word, they call it as harbor waves. Also, the waves travel much faster, that is 500 km per hour. It takes a length that exceeds 600 kilometers. So the waves are too fierce. And the height accounts 15-meter high. That's why they say that it is too high to swallow whatever it come across. This is what is tsunami waves. It is a very fierce wave, and I hope you know, you have an experience about these tsunami in 2004. Well, Thus we end today's session and we'll continue in the next session. Children, today's homework will be with these questions: plate tectonics and earthquak, seismic waves, that has been given in page 162. Mark the first paragraph fully and only the three names of the seismic waves, that is three types of the seismic waves. And the fourth question is tsunami, that is also in page 162 with the first 5 lines. Mark only first 5 lines and learn. Not only with this short answer, we have 3 distinguish: second, third and fourth distinguish. We'll look into the answer. You can mark like this: plate tectonics and the earthquak. One of the distinguish have been given here with the hypocenter and epicenter. Write only that for the distinguish. The second, the another distinguish, convergent boundary and divergent boundary has been given over here. Primary waves and secondary waves are in page 162. So write the full paragraph of primary waves with points, 3 points, and secondary waves with 3 points. Okay children, thus we end. Thank you. God bless you all.